Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to East Yorkshire and Goole. It's BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. It is Goole Vikings taking on James Newton's Whitehaven. And what an eventful afternoon it's been, where we got here, well, actually just around about 1 o'clock, and everything seemed rosy, everything seemed okay, and then a few murmurings. Yeah, you can't go past the halfway line. Why? There's an incident. Police were called. Bomb disposal's been in town. It's been a explosive few hours, let's say. There was a suspicious package found at the end of the ground to our right-hand side. Thankfully, nothing too suspicious, and we are able to get our game underway, and thanks to all the authorities they've made the ensure that we can play here this afternoon in Goole. We'll run through your two teams, and then we'll hear from the Whitehaven head coach, James Newton. Let's run through your Goole Vikings side first of all. So it's Flynn Holden in at full-back, Tom Halliday and Connor Barley on the wings, Cooper Howlett, the former Workington man, in the centres alongside Josh Guzdeck. In the half-backs, it's Mackenzie Harmon and the experienced Jack Miller. Starting props, Jack Arnold and Harry Alders, with the former York nightman Will Jubb in at hooker. Back rowers, it's a debut on loan for Ewan Smith from the Warrington Wolves alongside the former Dewsbury man in Keenan Tomlinson and Jalen Hodgson. The number 9 packs out at loose forward. On the interchange bench, it's the former Whitehaven loanee Callum Shaw alongside Nick Staveley, Brad Bullock and Alex Holdstock. The 18th man, if needed, for the Vikings this afternoon is Shane Toohey. For Whitehaven, they line up with Cole Walker-Taylor in at full-back, Dave Eggleston and Seth Woodend on the wings. It's Mitchell Todd and Ethan Bickerdike in the centres. It's a half-back partnership of Kieran Walker and Jack Newbegin. Starting props of Jake Pearce and Brad Brennan, Ellison Holgate in at hooker. Second rows are Connor Holliday and Ben Pearce, Jack Kellett in at loose forward. On the interchange bench, it is Lewis Brown, Ellis Nixon, Ollie Pollock and Jackson Smith. The 18th man, if needed, for Whitehaven this afternoon is Liam Williamson. We're going to hear from the Whitehaven head coach, James Newton, in just a moment. I caught up with him. It'll be Whitehaven to get the game underway. They'll be kicking off through the boot of Cole Walker-Taylor. They'll be attacking right to left from our position here in one of the stands here at Victoria Pleasure Ground. And as you'll be, if you're watching this on the YouTube stream later on, it's right to left as well. It's the same way. So it'll be Cole Walker-Taylor to get the game underway, and he'll kick off to the right-hand side. It'll be collected on the full by Jack Miller. And the Vikings will look to fetch it forward, and nearly broken through the tackle there. Has the prop forward, Jack Arnold. He's been brought down sort of 21, 22 metres away from his own line. Jubb in there at dummy half, and now into the hands then of Harry Alders, 13 on his back, but in at prop this afternoon is Alders, and he's brought it forward to just short of his own 30. Jubb scoots out of dummy half, and he's made 10, 11, 12 metres in doing so, so within 7 or 8 metres of the halfway line here. Harmon will dive in at dummy half now, then goes into the middle, into the hands of the full-back Flynn Holden, just over the halfway line now, goes left. Are they going to get the kick in early? It comes into Miller. Miller will look to try and escape through the Whitehaven defence, but he's going to be taken down. It will be the 5 and last here, just over the halfway line to the right-hand side of the field. Jubb will come right, then it'll find Harmon. Pressure being put on by Ben Pearce, but Harmon gets the kick away, and Cole Walker-Taylor will set himself and takes it. Does Cole Walker-Taylor? Is that a penalty for a high tackle on Cole Walker-Taylor? Referee Kevin Moore doesn't seem to think so, and Whitehaven, from our position, I think around 10 metres away from their own line, is Dave Eggleston. He'll now be the man to fetch it forward. Takes him more horizontally rather than forwards, does Eggleston there. Comes into the hands now of Ethan Bickerdike. The centre's going through a lot of work here in the early stages, and Bickerdike's been pushed back. Comes into the hands now of Brad Brennan, and Brennan will be the man to sort of take it forward here for Whitehaven. Holgate lies in wait at dummy half, comes into the hands now of Kellett, and Kellett just looks to fetch it forward. That is the 5 and last. Good defensive set here from the Vikings, who really have limited the Whitehaven's yardage. The kick will come in from Kieran Walker, and it comes off the hands of Holden, goes backwards. He's now collected sort of 7 metres away from his own line, and the full-back will be the man to fetch it forward. We were about to say a brilliant start from the Vikings there, Dan, but that sort of an error from Holden's let Whitehaven off the hook.
Yeah, almost a bit of a reprieve. Holden got a little bit luckier. The ball close to the touchline there after trying to take it on the full, but failed in doing so. But yeah, you saw from the first carry from Jack Arnold that Goole wanted to be on the front foot, and with someone like Will Jubb at dummy half, he's got he's experienced operator.
Halliday just over halfway line now are the Vikings. It's then into the hands then of Jack Arnold once more. It is the 5 and last. They are over halfway are the Vikings. Job will come right into the hands of Harmon. Keller's trying to put the pressure on. Did make contact with Harmon. Are we coming back for the penalty? It's been picked up by Flynn Holden. And it's going to be a knock on, and we're not coming back from the penalty. I initially thought referee Kevin Moore was coming, he was keeping an eye on it, and initially thought he was going to come back for the penalty, was Kevin Moore, but it is going to be Whitehaven ball. But Vikings showing they are dangerous in the early stages, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. Jack was just, he was there in the challenge, and just, I think that's what the referee saw as well, and nothing to penalise there. But like you say, Whitehaven needs to find the front here and try and make as many yards as possible, because they've been pinned down in the last 2 kicks from Harmon.
Brennan will now be the man to fetch it forward. We're sort of ground level, so I'm struggling to tell you just how far Whitehaven are fetching the ball forward here, but it'll be Holgate in at dummy half. Looking to go down that short right hand side. It's hit the ground from the hands of Connor Holliday, the Whitehaven captain. Couldn't take it cleanly. Looking to go down that short side and potentially had a gap on that right hand side. Couldn't quite tell from our angle whether it was the pass or just the loose hands from Connor Holliday, and the Vikings are going to have an opportunity here. Starting in Whitehaven's area, it will be scrum down, head and feed to the home side.
Yeah, unsure whether they had the numbers there, but I think he definitely saw the gap there and just went without the ball. So yeah, big chance for Goole here. Let's see what they can do.
Comes right from the base of the scrum. Couple of pairs of hands before coming out to Holden in at full back. Whitehaven's trying to put him over the touch line, quite close there. Halliday dives in at dummy half, comes left now. Couple of pairs of hands before finding then Hewan Smith, the loanee in from Warrington this week for the Vikings. Jubb's in there at dummy half. He will come left. Comes into the hands then of Jack Arnold to the right hand side of the post. Got the offload away into the awaiting hands of Will Jubb. They're close here. The Vikings. Right on the try line. Will go left then into the hands of Miller. Comes out the back then to Holden. Holden looks to step back inside and dance round the Whitehaven defence, but he's not being able to. He has been wrapped up as the Goole fullback. Comes right back towards the middle of the field now with Jack Miller, and Miller will just pop it up for Jack Arnold. Arnold brought down just a couple of metres away from the line. Whitehaven on their try line here. It is the 5 and last. Going to go left. Miller, and looking to go for Cooper Howlett on that left hand side. Has he got the ball down as Cooper Howlett? He hasn't. Whitehaven have survived on that occasion. The former town man has been in good form, scoring tries this season, but Whitehaven able to keep the Australian out.
Yeah, good defending there from Whitehaven. It looked like Jubb and I think also Flynn Holden looking very dangerous with his pace, and we'll have to see how Whitehaven can deal with that. But as it stands right now, coming out from deep in their own half, it needs to be squeaky clean.
We are in the spectators here as well amongst girls, so we are getting some funny looks, I'll be honest, but we could continue to bring you this game here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports as Brad Brennan's the man to take it forward. He's brought down, it's the third tackle there. Kieran Walker looking to go out to the edges into the hands now of Cole Walker-Taylor, and he's going to come back for the penalty. It is Kieran Walker who's taken out in back play, so Whitehaven were looking to bring it down that left hand edge, but they will go back for the penalty, and Whitehaven have an opportunity to clear the lines, exactly what they needed. Dan Fowler.
All stem through that Brad Brennan carry as well, and the quick play of the ball. It seems when there's 3 or 4 men around a player trying to get him down, and he gets a quick play of the ball, they're going to be at 6s and 7s, and that's what Whitehaven will have to kind of capitalise on if they're going to make some ground. Cracking
kick from Jack Newbegin around about the halfway line. It will be exactly on halfway when Bickerdike now takes a tap and finds Kieran Walker. Comes into the hands then of Jake Pearce. Just over the halfway line, Whitehaven's found plenty of meterage going in towards the middle of the field, but not too much forward there. Holgate in a dummy half. Comes right into the hands of that man once again, Brad Brennan. And Brennan's going to it takes 3 to stop him. They can't get him to ground. Holgate in a dummy half, looking to go down that right hand side, finds Newbegin now, who's looking for Connor Holliday, and did get the pass across to Connor Holliday. Whitehaven within 25 metres here, 20 metres in from the far right hand side touchline. Kellett's just had to wait for it, and it means he'll only get himself, he does well to get himself within sort of 17 metres here. Holgate comes left into the hands now of Jake Pearce, out the back then to Kieran Walker. Walker will find Cole Walker-Taylor. Spin tries to spin out to the tackle was Walker-Taylor, but it is now the 5 and last, 9 metres out of Whitehaven. Bickerdike in there at dummy half, comes hands of Walker, comes in the hands of Ben Pearce, gets the offload away into the hands of Cole Walker-Taylor, back into Bickerdike. It's going to be knocked on by Ethan Bickerdike, so it is a turnover ball. Not the end Whitehaven will have wanted to the set, Dan Fowler, but I tell you what, it's not a bad decision to turn it over.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, got to be good. Got to put the pressure on here. But yes, the last tackle play weren't too sure what they were doing. There were no kick, and they came back down the blind side, but just managed to they got wrapped up. Good defence there on tackle 1.
Yeah, dragging Halliday back pretty much to where the play had started, so made no meters there. Have the Vikings, and it's Cooper Howlett that's coming from the opposite side of the field to try and take the side forward here. He's lost that as he Cooper Howlett, but he's just been stripped in the tackle there from the Whitehaven defenders. Not too sure on that. We're right in line with that, Dan Fowler, and let's just say that's a contentious call.
Yeah, one of those got hands around the ball. Don't know whether he's just let go, and the referee's gone to the attacking side there. So yeah, as they've tapped the ball on 40-metre mark, and they'll be looking to put on a decent attack.
Yeah, looking to fetch it forward here. The Vikings. Space is limited, so I'm trying to find somewhere to put my notes here. The Goole have put the ball into the hands of Jack Arnold, and Arnold's going to be taken down just over, or in around halfway. It's into the hands now then of Flynn Holden. He's been in and around and took a few carries in as the fullback. Jubb will go left into the hands of Jack Arnold, and Arnold takes 3 Whitehaven defenders to fetch him down. Jake Pearce, Brad Brennan and Connor Holliday all involved, looking to go down that short left hand side. Miller comes on the back into Holden, and Holden's nearly there. Is it Jack Newbegin that just held on at the last moment? It was from the Whitehaven halfback, but Vikings on the attack here. Into now hands Miller, and Miller will just pop it up to Arnold once more, just sort of directing traffic, sort of quarterback style like from Jack Miller, looking to go down that left hand side once more that way on the 5 and last. Have they got the numbers? Steps back inside, gets the offload away into the hands of Jubb, and Jubb's going to go diving for the line. He's Will Jubb. He's looked to be held up. Whitehaven did have the reinforcements there that needed, but yet again they're close to turning the ball over, only a metre and a half maybe away from the Whitehaven line.
Yeah, definitely could do with a penalty here to relieve some pressure, but yeah, it's again another good carry from Flynn Holden, the Goole fullback. He's looking really dangerous, and like you've mentioned there, just taking a few carries up in the middle of the set as well, so trying to catch Whitehaven unawares.
Seth Woodend will play the ball sort of 10-15 metres away from their own line. Look, come down that short side, but they've lost it there. I can't quite see who it is from here, but the ball has hit the ground. It might have been... It's Kieran Walker who couldn't just keep hold of that ball. He had Ethan Bickerdike on his outside if he could have got through the Goole defence there, but wasn't able to keep hold of the ball. Was the Whitehaven halfback, and it's another opportunity for the Vikings close to the Whitehaven line. Scrum down, head and feed to the Vikings.
Yeah, you think it's probably only going to be a matter of time until Goole open the scoring here. If Whitehaven keep fumbling possession deep in their own half, we're going to be 20 metres out here as well, with a scrum play to come as well.
Jubb comes left into the hands of Miller, then comes into, is it Guzdeck? It is Guzdeck. That's just going to be taken down. They're within 5 metres, I'd say, here are the Vikings. He bounces from dummy half into the hands of Miller, and Miller will just pop it up to Harry Aldous, and Aldous he'll be wrapped up to the left-hand side of the post. Only a few metres out here are the Vikings. Jubb will come right and find Miller. Miller then finds Harmon. Comes on then on the pass across to Cooper Howlett. Howlett's then going to be taken down. Harmon lining Weir at dummy half. He will come left into the hands then. Is it of Arnold once more? He's got through a lot of work and found the offload as well. No, it's back into the hands of Arnold now. It was Jalen Hodgson with the initial offload. Taken down. They're only a metre or so out here. Jubb will come left with the long pass to Miller. Miller's going to look for the crossfield kick to the corner, and Dave Eccleston taken out there in the air. Is he Dave Eccleston? He is, and that's going to be a penalty to Whitehaven. Exactly what Whitehaven needed there, Dan Fowler.
Yeah, definitely another good defensive spell there from Whitehaven, and yeah, it's a great catch in the first instance, but yeah, also getting caught in the air. 2-1 on the penalty count, and the kick's not too great though, so it's they'll be about 20 metres out, and just trying to completely set, no errors hopefully.
That's what they need to do, the Whitehaven. They just need to complete the sets, and they need to get in this arm wrestle, the grind with this Goole side, and it's Cole Walker-Taylor will be the man to fetch it forward. Around about 11 minutes gone here at Goole. I'd love to give you an official time, but we've got no space for the clock. We've got no space for an awful lot here at Goole, to be completely honest. But I'll tell you what, Brad Brennan found space there, and then it's a one-on-one rip.
Looked like there were 2 in the tackle to start with, though.
And I think that's what Brad Brennan was saying when he sort of just gestured towards Kevin Moore there. Yes, it was one-on-one, but there was 2 in the tackle. And that rule that they brought in for only a couple of seasons, now not in anymore. Once it's a 2-man tackle, it is a 2-man tackle. But it means the Vikings do have ball in hand once more, and it's Jack Arnold who'll have it just to the right-hand edge, and he gets the offload away into the hands of Ewan Smith. And Smith is looking to come down that right-hand side now, and he's going to be taken down. They're within the sort of penalty box marking, so I think they're around about 10 metres out here. Goole comes out a couple of pairs of hands and finds Harmon. Comes out once more to Holden. They're looking to go on this left-hand side. That's a fantastic move to get in that left-hand side corner, and it'll be Connor Barley in that left-hand side. It just went from right to left to left to left. Yeah, it'd be interesting to watch that one back on Brad Brennan. Like I said, Dan, you thought there was too many in the tackle. You might have lost us temporarily here at Goole. Should be back with yourself now on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. It is 6-0 to the Vikings. That conversion was successful, and now fetching it forward are the Vikings. And early Keenan Tomlinson, who's coming from the left-hand side to fetch it forward, and it's going to be a penalty here. Penalty count now 2-2 in the favour of, well, in the favour of no one, but it is Goole that'll have the opportunity to bang the ball down the field. And not what Whitehaven needed just after that penalty after conceding the try, Dan Fowler.
Yeah, definitely just putting more pressure on themselves, aren't they, with that? It seems like it's one of those.
Just to confirm, we're back on.
Oh, yeah. Lovely stuff. But yeah, just putting more pressure on themselves, and they have to see if they can kind of keep Goole out on this occasion.
Tangled amongst wires here at Goole, and it is now Harry Alders, the man to fetch it forward. And he's going to be taken down. It'll be Jubb that'll go left. A couple of pairs of hands then into the hands now of Tomlinson on that left-hand side for the Vikings. They are over halfway now. And we'll come right back into the hands of Miller. Jubb pops it up then to Jack Arnold once more, getting through a lot of work. Goes back down that left-hand side and finds Tomlinson. Tomlinson's going to aiming for that left-hand side corner. Comes right. Miller. Looking to put the kick in behind. Is Jack Miller. Can he get onto it? He can't, but I tell you what, there's a man that can, which is Ellison Holgate, and he's now looking to fetch his ball forward. He's taken down there is Ellison Holgate. Just in there was Holgate to wrap that ball up, and Whitehaven now looking to fetch it forward quickly. Is Dave Eccleston's the man to dive out of dummy half. He'll be taken down around 20 metres away from his own line, round about the centre of the field, and it's Mitchell Todd now looking to take Whitehaven forward. The backs trying to help them out of what was a sticky situation there. Looking to come down this short side into the hands of Kieran Walker. Comes in hands of even Biggerdyke, nearly through there was Biggerdyke, just short of halfway here. Whitehaven, they've got no markers in there at dummy half, and it's Holgate that'll escape the clutches, and it's into the hands now of Kellett. They are over halfway here to Whitehaven. Great run in there from Jack Kellett, and they're 29 metres out now. It is the 5 and last. Holgate in there at dummy half, looking to come down the short side into the hands of Walker, and it's going to be played at. Surely that should be a fresh set of 6, and it's still the 5 and last. It's into the hands of Seth Woodend, and Woodend put the kick in, and it's going to be collected. Oh, it's knocked on by Tom Halliday. You don't see that from Tom Halliday all too often, and Whitehaven will have an opportunity here.
Doesn't lie. I think they should have really got 6 more for that charge there, because he's jumped to charge it down, but they've not. He didn't.
The rugby gods have provided its karma, Dan Fowler.
Don't lie. Yes, exactly. So yeah, it's like you say, usually a really consistent is Tom Halliday, but yeah, it's a tough one for him. Like, yeah, 10 metres out. See what they can do from the scrum here.
Come left. Out to the back, out to call Walker Taylor, and it's going to be Sheffield ending in this left-hand side corner. Whitehaven do hit back pretty much immediately, and it's the Barrow Raiders Loney in this left-hand side corner. Fantastic play from right to left from Whitehaven from the base of the scrum, and it's Howlett. Sorry, not Howlett. It is Woodend in this left-hand side corner that's got the ball down. It is 6 points to 4. Opportunity for Kieran Walker to level the scores and try and get Whitehaven back on level terms, Dan Fowler.
I mean, both tries in this game have come from really swift hands to the flanks, and that one was a great set move, to be fair, from the scrum. And Cole Walker-Taylor just making sure to give his winger enough space and enough time to get the ball down, despite the on-rushing defenders. But yeah, nice little play there from Whitehaven. Let's see if Kieran can get this game level at sixes.
I'm going to have to keep quiet. He's right in front of me. He's Kieran Walker. I don't want to put him off. He's 22 metres out. Is Kieran Walker. 4 blades of grass in from the touchline. Well, blades of AstroTurf, whatever you want to call it.
10 blades away from us.
Yeah, he's close, is Kieran Walker. I don't want to put him off. He's just checking how close he is to the railings. He's going through his warm-up. Is Kieran Walker eyeing up the posts. It's a windy afternoon in here, as Goole, as you can tell. Takes his steps forward down. Kieran Walker strikes the ball just inside the near left-hand side post from Kieran Walker. Scores level here at the Victoria Pleasure Grounds in Goole. BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. Around about 18-19 minutes gone, I'd say, here in East Yorkshire. It is now Goole 6, Haven 6.
Whitehaven would be really happy about that, because you could probably count on one hand the amount of playable balls they've had in Goole's 20, whereas Goole have had most of the territory, most of the possession, but only got 6 points to show from it, the same as Whitehaven.
So Whitehaven will have ball back from the kick-off. And that...
I mean,
you were guessing. I mean, how wide is this pitch? I didn't think it was that wide. But yeah, it was Ethan Biggerdike that brought it in, and it's now Brad Brennan, the man, to fetch it forward. I was with you. I thought that was sailing out on the full.
It's probably 10 metres in.
It probably was, yeah, but what can you do when we're at ground level? It's Jack Kellett, the man, now, to fetch it forward. As long as we're having fun, who cares?
Yeah, exactly that.
Holgate will dive out of dummy half, out the back now into the hands of Kieran Walker, and then just comes on the pass to Ben Pearce, and he's nearly broken through there as Ben Pearce.
Won the ruck.
Brought down, surely got to be a 6 again, but Holgate will dive out of dummy half, and he's trying to escape round the Goole defence. The hooker is going to be wrapped up, and that surely is around his neck from where we are as well. I tell you what, I love being at this level. You can see more. It is the 5 and last. Kieran Walker will put the kick in towards the corner. It's Holden that collects, but he's going to be brought down 18 metres away from his own line. And for the set after points, Whitehaven will be happy with that.
Yeah,
Dan
definitely,
Fowler.
And a good kick chase as well, because I think they've kind of cottoned on to the fact that Holden's got pace to burn, so you can't really give him open field to run into. So they were on him pretty much straight away, and on to tackle. This will be the 4th tackle, and just over the 30-metre mark of Goole. So yeah, they're defending pretty well.
Barley, the man to fetch it forward. They're trying to get him close to the touchline. He's on the other side of the field. He should be over there, surely. Connor Barley. Harmon's in there at dummy half. Comes into the hands now of Harry Alders. God's brother Jack as well. Job in there at dummy half. Comes into the hands now of Harmon on what is the 5 and last, just around the halfway line. It's a high hanging kick, but Cole Walker-Taylor's underneath that one. Collects it around about 20 metres away from his own line, does Cole Walker-Taylor, and it'll be wrapped up, taken down maybe around about, that 20 metre mark. Into the hands then of Seth Woodend. Try scorer for Whitehaven, who's coming off the wing to try and help his side forward here. Walker in there at dummy half. Comes into the hands then of Mitchell Todd, more central now for Whitehaven, maybe 15 metres short of halfway. Holgate comes down to his left-hand side, and Jackson Smith is out on the field. Penalty all day long. Whitehaven will love that. It's an opportunity for them to kick the ball further down the field.
It's in the category of any higher would miss, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the biggest lad in the world, is Jackson Smith, but if you're hitting him high, you are hitting him high.
Absolutely, yeah.
Jack Newbegin, that's coming towards us. Just goes to the right-hand side of us, and it is 35 metres away from
good chance here.
From the goal line here for Whitehaven. Biggerdike comes into the hands then of Walker. He'll find Jackson Smith, showing no ill effects of that shot only a few moments ago was Jackson Smith. They're sort of 32 metres out now. Whitehaven comes in the hands of Jake Pearson. He will take Whitehaven over that 30 metre line. Only just. All gets in there at dummy half. Coming down this left hand side once more with Kellett. Comes out the back then to Kieran Walker. Back inside round the back to Ethan Biggerdike. And Biggerdike's brought down exactly 20 metres out with Holgate in there dummy half now. Goes back towards the middle then with Jackson Smith. He'll just pass it along to Jake Pearce and keeps his legs pumping. Does Pearce. Whitehaven within 12 metres now in line with the right hand side post. Holgate looks to go down that right hand side into the hands of Jack Newbegin. They knew what was coming there. There's Goole, but he's got the offload away into the hands of Cole Walker-Taylor. Dance round one as Walker-Taylor, the Whitehaven fullback, and it is going to be the 5 and last. The 5 metres out here. Repeat set minimum surely going down that right hand side, and they've wrapped up Connor Holliday. Holliday can't get his arms free for the offload, and it's going to be a turnover ball 6-7 metres away from their own line here for the Vikings.
Yeah, it seemed like they were just quite happy to just take the tackle. To be fair, there were no kicking behind, and there hasn't been so far from Whitehaven. They've always run the ball when they've got the chance.
That Aldous looking to be to fetch it forward. No, it's Arnold, and he's going to push back a metre or two there. Is Arnold still just in and around their own 10 metres here? Are the Vikings.
Good defending.
It's Howlett that'll be taken down, sort of 17 away from his own line. Comes into the hands then now of
Nick
Staveley, who's on from the interchange bench. 30 metres out, Jubb's in there at dummy half. He will go left and find then Aldous once more. Gets the offload away. How did he do that? Jubb then back inside. Is it? No, he elected to keep hold of it. Jack Miller was there if he wanted him, but Jubb's got to be taken down. And what is now the 5 and last, just short of halfway, comes right into the hands of Harmon, and Harmon will get it away. It's a spiralling kick, and it's going to be Walker-Taylor underneath it, 20 metres away from his own line, and he's going to try and find a defence. He's called Walker-Taylor, and then he straightens up now, and he's going to be wrapped up. He's the Whitehaven fullback, around 25-26 metres away from his own line. Ethan Bickerdike now will have ball in hand. Maybe a bit ingenuous there to Walker-Taylor. I did think he made more metres than that. Seth Woodhead's brought it up, and they're within 10 metres of the halfway line now are Whitehaven. Holgate in there at dummy half into the hands then of Jackson Smith, and Smith's trying to get his arm free for her offload. Is the former Hensingen man. Spent time in East Yorkshire a couple of seasons ago with Hull FC in their academy before coming back to West Cumbria, and Connor Holliday is now going to be wrapped up just over halfway line on the 5 and last. Goes right into the hands of Newbegin. Newbegin gets the kick up in the air. Dave Eccleston's going to try and get Afe underneath that one, and that's going to be. He's called it a genuine challenge in the air, and I tell you what, Tom Halliday firstly has done okay to keep hold of that one. I do think Dave Eccleston's, let's just say, fairly lucky on that one. Dan Fowler.
Yeah, just a bit. Yeah, he's. I mean, he may have had eyes for the ball, but he's caught him in the. I think maybe he might have had a word in the air there. Might need to give him one here. So the penalties come.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of tackles too late.
A couple of tackles too late and 25 metres further down the field, Dan Fowler. It might not be evening it up quite what he thinks, referee Kevin Moore. But it is going to be Harmon that kicks it over the ball, or kicks it over the line, and they will start this in Whitehaven half. Find Jubb to Miller. Miller's then looking to take the Whitehaven line on here. Did escape Jake Pearce, but there's another two there in the chocolate blue and gold. Kellett and Smith, the Hensingen connection, to fetch it down, and Kellett involved once more now alongside Alison Holgate to fetch Staveley down, but Jubbs dives back in at dummy half, and it's going to be a lost ball there. Fantastic work from Whitehaven, a forced that error from Jack Arnold, and it'll be scrum down, head and feet to Whitehaven. Around about 22-23 minutes gone maybe here in Goole. Scrum down, head and feet to Whitehaven, around about 20 metres away from their own line. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online, all square, still at 6-0.
Yeah, I think alarm bells might have been ringing there for Whitehaven, though. They won a couple of rucks in a row, did Goole, and they had they had kind of the roam. They were roaming forward, but just nice defence there to get the ball back.
Whitehaven fetch it forward on the right hand side. Looks to be Mitchell Todd as Ellis Nixon's come on to replace Jack Kellett. Holgate and looks to go down that right hand side with Connor Holliday, and Holliday was almost through but just hauled back at the last moment. 10 short of halfway. Newbegin pops it up then to Jake Pearce, and Pearce hasn't got too many opportunities there to take it forward. Holgate comes into the hands now with Jackson Smith at the bend his back and just gets it away to Ben Pearce. He's going to be brought down on halfway here is Pearce. Comes down that short side now into the hands of Walker. He'll find Ethan Bickerdike. Couple of tackles left in the here. Will this be the 5 and last? This will be the 5 and last. 35 metres away from the try line here are Whitehaven. Walker will put the kick up. Holden. Oh, that's going to be just too deep. Maybe a metre and a half too deep from Kieran Walker. Holden has his foot on the back line.
goal players weren't back in time.
Yes, he's stopped the quick tap. He's fair. He's right to do that.
Yeah.
He's Kevin Weir, and Halliday will now be the man to fetch it forward once the Whitehaven defensive line is set, and they do well to push Halliday back a metre or two there. Jubbs in there at dummy half. Comes into the hands now of Callum Shaw. Number 5 on his back, Shaw, but I can't tell where he's playing out there because he was an out-and-out winger for Whitehaven when he was on loan from Hull FC a couple of seasons ago. Jubbs scooted from dummy half and takes the Vikings within 8-9 metres of the halfway line. Comes down this right-hand side and out to Staveley. Shaw, he's out on the wing. I wonder if there's been a change in the lineup from what was initially put out on social media, but we'll keep an eye out on that one. Harmon is going to be wrapped up. Fantastic work there from Ben Pearce, and then he's helped by Kieran Walker, put down onto his back. Still a couple of tackles left in the bank here. Jubbs in there at dummy half. Staveley into Bullock now as well. It is now going to be the 5 and last. Sort of 22, 23 metres. That was a messy play of the ball, but Jubb collected it cleanly. Kick then comes in from Miller. Dave Eccleston can't collect it. It bounces back into the hands of Miller, and it says it was knocked on from the Goole man first, and it will be a Whitehaven turnover 5-6 metres away from their own line here for Haven.
Shaw was on the bench.
He was on the bench, I know, yeah.
So it seems like,
but just to change for a winger, do you know what I mean? Like it was, yeah.
True. Yeah, very true. It's a strange one.
Dave Eccleston has nearly got through. He's got past 3 Goole defenders, mainly horizontally before straightening up there. Did Dave Eccleston, and it's going to be a penalty, exactly what Whitehaven wanted. It's the 4th penalty of the afternoon for Whitehaven.
He's not been afraid to blow the whistle.
He never is. He's Kevin Moore. You don't mind as long as he's consistent with it. Exactly that. You really don't mind, yeah.
Absolutely.
So he's going to be around 10 metres short of halfway, I think, from our position here. Yeah, Ethan Bickerdike will take the tap. As I say, we're really at ground level. And
don't buy any carpets from you.
Yeah, no. Comes into the hands now of Walker, out the back then into the hands of Ellis Nixon. Nixon's going to be taken down just short of halfway. It is a slow play. The ball will come down this short left-hand side now into the hands of Pearce, and Pearce will take Whitehaven over the halfway line. Ben Pearce on this occasion goes into the middle then with Jackson Smith and continues to pump his legs. Does Smith? 27 metres out of Whitehaven. Goes out wide right into the hands then of Cole Walker-Taylor now, and fullback's going to be wrapped up. Comes back into towards the middle now with Holgate, and Holgate will put the kick in over the top. Walker saying he's been taken out. It was a little bit theatrically, I would say, from Kieran Walker, as Halliday is the man to fetch it forward, and nearly broken through there as Halliday, and he's taken down 30 metres away from the Gulls on line here.
Yeah, it weren't too much of a kick chase, and I think Tom Halliday kind of spotted that and went for the nearest gap and got a bit of success out of it as well.
I don't think it was the 5 and last. I think Holgate had gone early on that occasion, which might have caught his teammates out. Just over the halfway line now, as Goole have got themselves into that position. Will come right then into the hands of Holstock, and Holstock's going to be straightened up. He's just come on the field to replace Will Jubb. So it's going to be a positional change. Hodgson will go from loose forward into that 9 position, and it's now going to be Ewan Smith on this right hand side that's nearly got through the Whitehaven defence, held on to by no doubt a former teammate Ben Pearce, and it is now the 5 and last Jack Miller. I think Ellis Nixon got a touch on that, and it should be 6 again. It's going to be here a turnover ball. So you said, well, the Goole.
It definitely took a touch as well, because it didn't have too much distance on it, and you wouldn't expect that from a Miller kick. So yeah, it's I think they might have got away with one there, Whitehaven.
Dave Eccleston will be the man to fetch it forward on what will be the first tackle here. It's sort of 20 metres away from their own line when he'll play this. Cole Walker-Taylor scoots from dummy half and trying to escape the clutches of the Goole defence, but he couldn't do so, could the Whitehaven fullback. Walker will go right into the hands then of Jake Pearce, gets the offload away, it bounces into the hands then of Ellison Holgate. Holgate, I think, was just waiting sort of for it to go, diving in that dummy half position, wasn't exactly expecting that offload. Just brought down just short of halfway. It's Ben Pearce, he's not going to take Whitehaven over there, is Ben Pearce. Calling for the 6 again of Whitehaven, but it's Kieran Walker now that'll fetch it forward, and it's going to be a forward pass from Walker-Taylor to Walker, so it means it'll be scrum down, head and feed to the Vikings. No, it won't be a turnover ball. Be a turnover ball on halfway. What are we going with? Yes, come down, head and feed to the Vikings, exactly on halfway, Dan Fowler.
A bit of a poor Ensler, not even the Ensler set, was it really? Because it was still on 5th, so yeah, it's a bit lax there from dummy half, but we'll see if there's going to be any sort of repercussions from that with this latest.
Right of centre, they're going to go for a shift from play one here. It's gone through a couple of pairs of hands. Tomlinson, the man to take it forward, and he's going to be wrapped up. Is Keenan Tomlinson. Eventually plays the ball. Miller comes right into the hands of Holdstock, trying to get his arm free. He's the forward, but he's now taken down.
Get off.
You get more into Whitehaven matches than I do these days, Dan Fowler. Ball comes right, couple of pairs of hands, then comes to Holden. Holden looks to step back inside, he slipped there, did Ethan Bickerdike, but he was able to complete the tackle alongside Kieran Walker. Callum Shaw will be in a dummy half before coming left, then finds Bullock. And Bullock's going to be wrapped up. It's round about 20 metres out, in line with the right-hand side post. Couple of pairs of hands now finds Jack Miller. They've got the numbers on that left-hand side if they go there. Can they get in? Barley, has he got in? Has he got the ball down? He has got that ball down on that left-hand side as Connor Barley. They did have the numbers on that left-hand side, and it was another right to left shift play. All 3 tries coming from shift players from different positions on the field. Dan Fowler, Barley in for his second day of the afternoon on that left-hand side, and the Vikings retake the lead. They've hit double digits. It is Goole 10. Haven 6.
I think almost after that first contact on Barley, I thought that Whitehaven were going to just about get enough men around him to stop him from scoring, but he got over, and it's his double. He broke the deadlock earlier on in the game, and yeah, it's a tough one for Whitehaven to take, especially when you consider where the possession and the territory has come from. Obviously, they started that set on halfway after a forward pass on the 5th tackle, which didn't need to be done really when there were no real pressure on the Whitehaven attack. Let's see if the conversion could be good. It's
Jack Miller.
Yeah, he's one of the best goal kickers I think that I've seen. He's not too bad.
He certainly isn't normally. He's Jack Miller. P announcer just confirmed what we thought. It was Connor Barley. They've got the ball down in that left hand side corner. He's lining the conversion up. On the far side is Jack Miller. Takes his time, looks at the sticks, looks down at the ball. Starts his run up now. Does Jack Miller, strikes it. Over the sticks from Jack Miller, so it is now Vikings 12, Haven 6, BBC Radio Cumbria. It's online. Roughly 5 minutes till half time, I'd say. Roughly, I tell you what, this isn't going to be great for the League Express report. Trying to work out who scored tries and
There's
when.
only going to be you reporting on it, Jordan. So
if I put anything in, no one else is going to know. Good lad, well done. I knew there was a braid up there somewhere.
I don't think there is.
So it is Cole Walker-Taylor that will get the game back underway. Ollie Pollock fresh onto the field for Whitehaven. Walker-Taylor with the kick-off. It's going to be collected on the full. And then it will be Bullock, the man, to fetch it forward and nearly burst through the first tackle. He did get an extra few post-contact metres there. Pearson, Nixon will be in there at marker. Hodgson goes left and then finds, is it Smith on that occasion, Ewan Smith?
It is.
The Warrington Lawney. And they've got to within 10 metres of halfway on the second tackle. Miller now, they're going for it here. Holden's looking to step back inside. Newbegin with the initial contact, and he's helped to complete the tackle by Connor Holliday and Mitchell Todd. Looking to go down that short left-hand side again once more with Tomlinson now, and then finds Barley again once more. He's searching for his hat-trick, of course, he's Connor Barley. And they're going to get him over the touchline on that side. They aren't. Still a couple of tackles left in the bank, and they're around about 30 metres out here are the Vikings. Miller will now find Staveley, finds Holdstock, and Holdstock trying to take it. He has nearly broken through. He has broken through the middle as Holdstock. It is now the 5 and last. Whitehaven's defence is at 6s and 7s. It comes right, puts the kick in towards the corner. Can Cooper Howler get there? It's back-to-back tries. I'm having to go with the shouts, but he has given the try as referee Kevin Weir, and it's back-to-back tries, and it's the former Workington man, Cooper Howlett in the right-hand side corner. Couldn't tell you how he's got it down. All we know, he has got it down. And from being 6-6 only 3 or 4 minutes ago, Dan Fowler, it could shortly be 18 points to 6 in favour of the home side.
Yeah, the Goole were on an absolute roll there from tackle one. Really, they made a good 10 metres, 10-15 metres from the first carry, and then won that ruck, and then just consecutively just making big metres from likes of Keenan Tomlinson, Connor Barley, and then the kick, the grubber kick through. I mean, must have been well weighted, even though we couldn't see it. But well weighted, and it's there for goal for back-to-back tries, and they're in the driving seat.
That'll disappoint Whitehaven morning, because they got themselves back into the contest,
definitely.
didn't they? And then it was been an arm wrestle for sort of that 10-15 minute period after the Whitehaven score to equalise.
It's always a blow to concede before half time, but to concede twice in as many minutes as well is even worse, obviously.
Jack Miller lining the conversion up, right hand side of the field on this occasion from the Goole half back, strikes it now. And it's fallen to the left-hand side post from Jack Miller, so it's his first miss of the afternoon. So it remains 16-6 here in East Yorkshire. BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online, Whitehaven's first ever trip to the Victoria Pleasure Grounds, and they're finding not a lot of pleasure from it at the moment. It is Goole 16, Whitehaven 6.
Very good, very good.
I had a few. I was covering the football yesterday. There was a few Grand National horse racing references in there.
Nice.
Just what I do.
Yeah.
Cole Walker-Taylor with the kick-off. It's going to be collected on the full, and it'll be Bullock once again now to fetch it forward, and Whitehaven get plenty of shoulders and bodies in on that one, but he still find a few post-contact meters going backwards there, did Bullock. Hodgson in at dummy half, goes into the hands then of Ewan Smith, the Warrington loanee.
He's been good. He's been one of our best, I think.
29 metres out as the play at Holdstock looks to throw the dummy in, tries to get past Conor Holliday, looking for potential the one-on-one strip there, but then Newbegin and Holgate will complete the tackle, but the markers with a bit of a mess. They've got a fast play of the ball there, and Hodgson's going to be taken down on halfway. Just need to stay in recovery mode really here to Whitehaven until that half-time break. Don't give away the points as Staveley is going to be wrapped up. Former Hull FC man, it is the 5 and last, just over halfway, comes into the hands of Harmon, and Harmon will get the kick in. It's end over end. Seth Woodend's going to be underneath that one, is he? He's not, he's allowed Cooper Howlett to collect it. Ball has come away, has it, and it is into the hands of a Whitehaven man, which will be Ethan Bickerdike. He'll play the ball first tackle. Seth Woodend is now going to fetch Whitehaven forward, sort of 28 metres away from their own line here, into the hands now of Dave Eccleston. Eccleston looks to straighten up and take Whitehaven over that 30 metre mark. Ball in the centre of the field now. Those in chocolate blue and gold into the hands now with Jack Newbegin nearly through the line there before being taken down. 10 metres short of halfway, and we've got a stoppage in play. I think just all tangled up, but he's looking in a little bit of pain as well. There is Jack Newbegin, and that's not what Whitehaven want to see after losing so many bodies in recent week 4. And they are down on numbers, and one of them they've just lost this week was halfback Joe Lowe. Yeah. So you don't want to lose.
The ref's seen it straight away.
Yeah.
It just seemed like so soon after the contact, and he's blown for time off.
Keep an eye on that one for Jack Newbegin. I don't know if has it just got caught underneath the tackle maybe from. There was certainly no malice or foul play in it. It was just a hard run from Jack Newbegin.
And it could be anything really on this sort of surface as well.
It certainly could be. Kellett to half maybe, if he needs to leave the field. It looks like he has got the thumbs up as Jack Newbegin, thankfully, because it would have been one hell of a rearrangement if Whitehaven needed to try and replace Jack Kellett in it.
He's still
struggling. He's Jack Newbegin, mind you, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that one. Looking to go down that right hand side into the hands of Holliday, and Holliday will be brought down. We'll play these pretty well. We'll be on halfway by the time he gets up. It is the 5 and last. Comes in the hands of Newbegin, then finds Pierce, finds Walker, looking to go here, finds Cole Walker-Taylor, finds Seth Woodend. Woodend's trying to escape the tackle. He does, then gets the kick in. Kieran Walker's offside. Called him up pretty much straight away, but then Seth Woodend, and there he's the hooter. Seth Woodend wraps it up, and it's half time here at the Victoria Pleasure Grounds on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. It is Goole Vikings 16, Whitehaven 6.
It's blazing down here at the pleasure ground as far as you can see, but the bit you can't see off camera that me and Jack high up in this rather makeshift scaffolding gantry were rather worryingly looking at across above the far stand is the huge dark clouds that are raining down above the ground as the first big hit goes in from the Vikings and another one there from Brad Bullock, and they've come out fired up in this second half. See if they can get the job, but that will not be what Scott Taylor wanted. Two big collisions, two big contacts to get his side on the front foot, then some afters as well there for Verbals, which has made it even worse. They marched another 10 metres upfield, and after what looked like a promising start, Jack, they've just let the pressure out the valve ever so quickly there.
Yeah, it's just a little pressure off for Goole there, because two really good shots and it just affects the defence now, so they need to back it up.
So Whitehaven will get their hands on the ball, as you can probably hear the breeze again, just starting to pick up slightly. Hopefully these showers are clearing, but I have to say, Jack, it does look like it's probably heading across us here. So I suspect we're about to get very cold and very wet. And of course those conditions could be a big game changer here, as the rainbow appears above the ground as Whitehaven come forward. Referee not happy with something, and he wants the ball playing. Again, probably didn't pick up in the effects mics, but I think head coach of the Whitehaven there, James Newton, was letting his players know exactly what he thought of that from Ollie Polek, the loanee from Lee Leopards. Actually had a game at Salford earlier this year as well. So well travelled so far this season, heading down to Manchester from Lee and then up to the northwest as Whitehaven come again. They'll want to score first in this second half and get themselves right back into this match. As Lewis Brown takes the big carry in. Another Cumbrian. As Holgate dives out of 9. Little kick there. It's not the best kick actually from Walker. It goes to ground. It bobbled off the top of Makaharman. We're still on the last as Whitehaven keep the ball alive. As Woodend then feeds the ball backwards, but then I'm not sure what's happening. Who is that bounce off? He is going to give back to one. He's going to say a knock on from Callum Shaw as he went to scoop up the loose ball. And midway through the Vikings half, Whitehaven have another set of 6 now to see what they do, as indeed the rain does start to come down. And it's pretty nasty actually. We need to tuck in behind this cover if we can. Back to one again. Another ruck infringement there for the Vikings. Not covering themselves in glory in these early exchanges this first half, and that will give the visitors some hope as Whitehaven come forward, crashing into line. It's another good carry. I think, was it Kellett again, just carrying that ball in. They're coming hunting here. Holgate at the line, and I think he's got that one down. I think he has. Not the best defence from the Vikings. It is the loanee Polek from Lee Centurions crashing over from close range. Nice little ball from Holgate, and they just rolled them there, didn't they, Jack? Yeah. Nice quick play from Whitehaven, and the Vikings couldn't get to grips with them, couldn't get control of the defensive line, and ultimately that's what happens. Whitehaven strike first in the second half through Oliver Polek, and they're right back in this game.
Yeah, I think Whitehaven just rolled us a little bit. It's a bit too loose through the middle. They've got some big boys, so they need to be red alert on our goal line.
I think watching that back, the Vikings defence will be a little bit disappointed. It was simple stuff from the big man, just crashing over from close range. But ultimately, it was the position and territory that Whitehaven have been gifted there to give themselves a chance. So that's 4 more points on the scoreboard at 16-10 with a simple kick to come that, to be honest, Jack, you're not known for your goal-kicking prowess, but I'm pretty confident in backing you from here to put this one over. And it'll be Kieran Walker again, who has been impressive with the route. He's kicked 1 already today, and he'll be looking for his 15th goal of the season here. And he will get that rather comfortably. So 16-12. And we've got a game in our hands. Is that, well, there's a picture that the photographers need.
Whitehaven 12 here in East Yorkshire, BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online. And despite the difficult start that Lewis Brown had fetching that ball forward, 2 minutes later, Whitehaven's underneath the stick stand, Fowler.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Like you said, he got through quite a bit of work. He weren't deterred by that first carry that he got smoked off. But yeah, so he's he kept coming back for more, and Whitehaven got what they deserve really after chancing their arm on the last tackle. Seth Woodend with the offload and it being knocked on. Oh, talking of knock-ons.
I don't even want to say it. Kieran Walker has dropped from the kick-off, scrum down, head and feed to the Goole Vikings. Sun's in his eyes, rainbow behind him.
No pot of gold here.
No pot of gold for Kieran Walker. I'm the one that does the ones them round here.
You do the jokes.
I do the jokes. Scrum down, head and feed to the Vikings. It's a very similar position to Whitehaven. Got their first try in the first half. That ball does come left from Miller. Can Whitehaven survive it? Holden. Done well there. Eccleston and Todd to combine. 3-4 metres out. Halliday swings it back right to Miller. Calls for a forward pass into the hands of Staveley. You were right in line with it, Dan Fowler. As Hodgson lies in wait at dummy half. He'll go right into the hands of Miller. That looks forward as well. The hold stop from my position, but he's going to be taken down. And they're within 2-3 metres here of the Vikings. Coming back towards the middle now. It's Staveley. Powers over from short range, doesn't it, Staveley? And as soon as Whitehaven hit back, the gap is re-extended back to 8 points. And it will be an easier conversion from Jack Miller from right in front. Unless we do. It will be 22 points to 12 in just a moment.
Carbon copy of the Whitehaven try, the Whitehaven's first try of the second half. Just a crash ball and over the line. Yeah, maybe a couple of forward passes in there, but it's gone unnoticed by the referee. But there you go. That's what happens sometimes. And but Whitehaven just couldn't quite keep out Goole on that occasion. It's a poor mistake by Kieran, and he'll know that. Knocking on from kick-off. It's not
coach killers, I believe they're called, Dan Fowler.
Yes, that is the perfect way to describe it, I think. Yep, definitely so.
Jack Miller will tag on the extras from right in front, and it's gone into the housing estate behind. It is Goole Vikings 22, Whitehaven 12, BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online, and we're back to a 10-point ball game. Dan Fowler, not what Whitehaven will have wanted.
No, definitely not. Especially, you got the tails up after scoring first in the second half, and hoping to get that momentum. But when you knock on straight from kick-off, you put yourself behind the 8 ball, and Goole made the most of it, made the most of the territory and the possession that they got from it.
Cole Walker-Taylor with the kick-off. It's just holding up in the wind. It's collected by Miller on his knees. Sort of slid towards it there.
Nasty carpet burn.
Especially. Yeah, it was. They're not the best of services. You know that from
without a doubt,
from the OLP. Oh, it's not that these days. It's still City Stadium. SCS.
Oh no,
that's
not a sale on.
Yeah, there's not. Damn, behave yourself, man. The Vikings are fetching the ball forward here, maybe 10 metres short of halfway. Comes into the hands, and it looks potentially Staveley, I think, maybe the try scorer, but wrapped up around halfway. Out the back now to Miller. Then it lands in a Keenan Tomlinson. Looks to get the offload, hand off into the face of Jack Newbegin. It is now the 5 and last. The 38 metres away from the Whitehaven line. Alice Nixon trying to put some pressure on Miller. It's just up in the air. It's held up in the air. Connor Barley collects it. No, he doesn't. He knocks on. Searching for his hat-trick is Connor Barley. Offside, and then he's going to be pinned for offside. Yeah, so that he's offside. So even if he had collected it and gone forward, it'd have been offside. It was a late call there from referee Kevin Moore. And Whitehaven will have the opportunity from the penalty, exactly 20 metres out, to kick into touch, and Kieran Walker will find 18 metres in doing so.
Absolutely. Let's see what they can do from here as they edge towards halfway. Next score, massive, as we always seem to say here.
Holiday being pushed back, looks to get the offload, does get the offload away into the hands of Jack Newbegin, calls of a forward pass. Well, potentially.
Apart from it going backwards.
Holgate in there at dummy half, comes right now into the hands of Mitchell Todd, and Todd will be just over the halfway line now as fetches Whitehaven forward. Kellett back out as Jack Newbegin does limp out. He's got his knees strapped following that knock just before half time, so it's Kellett going to go in alongside Kieran Walker in the half position, a position he has played quite a lot for Hensingham over the years, but it is now Kieran Walker to look to escape from the tackle. He's nearly done so from Staveley, but he's eventually taken down. Comes right then to Pollock, just had to wait for it, did Ollie Pollock. Taken down around about 20 metres out here to Whitehaven. What is the 5 and last? Will come down this right hand side to Kellett and then finds Mitchell Todd. They'll turn the ball over on the last. I don't think Whitehaven will be too upset with where they've turned it over. Just in chat now, need to ensure they can keep Goole trying pinned in that their own 10-20 metres.
Almost like they played for that, to be fair. Again, didn't go for the kick option. Just went for the run and decided to got tackled about 10 metres out. Let's see, hopefully keep squeaky clean on the discipline here.
Continue to fetch it forward now. Do the Vikings. And it's Callum Short in off his wing to take I'm just naming his former clubs here. Take Goole forward here. Gets the offload away. Now finds Mackenzie Harmon. Harmon then is he going to be? He's nearly escaped. He has nearly escaped the tackle there as Harmon, but Nixon brought him down. But there's only one marker in now there as Ellison Horgate as Harmon was left. As Nixon was left on the floor by Harmon. It's Hodgson that's going to be wrapped up. 38 metres out. Goes right. No, that was on his shoulder. Yeah.
Nice. There's a post in the way for me.
The 5 and last goes down that right hand side, and Harmon will get the kick up end over end. Cole Walker-Taylor should have enough. He does, but then he's going to be met there by his former Workington teammate in Cooper Howlett, and he wrapped him up there, did Cooper Howlett. And Whitehaven start only 3 metres away from their own line here. Even Biggerdike now the man to fetch it forward. We've got some work to do here. Have Whitehaven trying to get up and get a fast play of the ball. Surely he's got to get up. And Bullock's then. Well, this could be interesting.
Bullock fruit first punch, didn't it?
Yeah, but then Kieran Walker got involved first of all. So which way does it go from referee Kevin Moore?
Yeah.
I don't know who she's wanting sent to the sin bin to our right hand side.
The ref?
Maybe, potentially.
Yeah, let's see what's said. I don't think we're happy with a bit of treatment on the floor. I think,
it was when we were calling for the 6 again initially, weren't we? With that,
it'd have been a penalty, wouldn't it? Deep in the Whitehaven half. But yeah, it's exactly.
I wish they'd stop messing around with this.
Yeah, I know.
Just
yeah,
kick penalties, man.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely so. Yeah. Just the captains, I think. Yeah.
Connor Holliday and Jack Miller being called out. Well, he's got to give something.
Yeah,
surely.
I'm going to say, is there a world where we just start, right, we'll just forget about that? And I don't think you can, because
referee Kevin Moore said, I'm having no more of that.
If everyone quietens down, we might be able to hear him, to be fair.
Penalty to Goole. Yep. Told you.
Yeah. Good.
And Miller said they want to go on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean 10-point ball game, making it a 12 doesn't really make that much difference, but if they can make it a 14-stroke 16-point ball game, it's completely different.
I think that's the way to go. Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
Fetch it forwards as Alex Holstock. It was taking 10 metres out. They're trying to get him back to around there, but he's then nearly escaped the clutches. Hodgson just down short of the line there is Jalen Hodgson. Goes right into the hands then. Is it Ewan Smith? Yeah. He's going to be held up. Has he got the ball down? He's held up there. Is Ewan Smith. Those behind the try line of a goal persuasion. Tried to convince the referee that it was a 4-pointer, but referee Kevin Moore was close enough to make his own decision. BBC Radio Cumbria online. It now comes left into the hands of Holstock. He'll find then Brad Bullock. He's of course involved in that confrontation, let's say, with Kieran Walker. 5 metres out. Comes left now into the hands of Miller. Oh, a little fumble from Miller, but able to collect it a second attempt into the hands now of Holden. It is now the 5 and last. Whitehaven have to survive. Into the hands now of Miller, looking for the crossfield kick. Oh, he's rose the highest as Cooper Howlett. He's jumped like a salmon. He's offside. Oh, the goal line dropout. Goal line dropout. Well, Cooper Howlett looked like it rose like a salmon and got that down. But Whitehaven aren't happy with the decision either way. They're saying he's knocked it on.
If he's got the ball and then he's held up on the last, then it's I don't know what's happened there. It seems like he had the ball.
From what we've seen,
we're going to be a try, but
it is a goal line dropout, and Whitehaven have another set of 6 to survive. It's not the best kick from Walker-Taylor. It goes 30 metres and is now being brought forward by Brad Bullock. Met there by Holliday. Nixon involved as well, is it? Yeah, Ellis Nixon. Hodgson in there at dummy half. Will go right then. The goal man will be wrapped up. Can't quite tell who it is. Transition it is. It's Staveley, yes. Hodgson goes right then. Finds Harmon out the back then to Miller. And then coming on the inside crash ball was the Goole man. Close to the line, 3 or 4 metres. Holstock then looks to go himself. Alex Holstock! Have they got underneath him, or is he short of the line? He's short of the line, he's Alex Holstock. I don't know how. Hodgson comes left. Miller then finds Barley. Fantastic wrap up from Mitchell Todd initially to just keep Barley up. It looked destined. They took him over the try line as well. They're getting back 10 metres, and it's the 5 and last. One more for Whitehaven to survive what will be a great defensive effort.
Absolutely.
But surely that ball goes to the right hand side again from Miller. It will do. Not as deep on that occasion, is he? But he rides, does he? Oh, he's gone backwards. It's a fresh set of 6. And he's lost it, has he?
Oh,
Oh, he's lost it over the line. Oh, he's lost it over the line. He's lost it over the line as the Goole man. Potentially, maybe. Oh, I don't know. Maybe the back rower. Maybe Ewan Smith on that
just
side.
throw a dart and see where it lands.
Whitehaven survived by the merest of margins and are now fetching the ball forward. Whitehaven, and Holgate will go left from dummy half and find Mitchell Todd, and Todd will be taken down just over their own 40. Holgate will go left once more now into the hands of Lewis Brown. It's still 22-12 here at the Victoria Pleasure Ground. I couldn't tell you how, because Goole have been knocking on Whitehaven's door there and really unlucky not to get over thanks to some fantastic defence from Whitehaven. Ben Pearce now plays the ball, comes right into the hands of Ollie Pollock once more. And Pollock's going to be taken down. It is the 5 and last. Will come right into the hands then of Kellett. Kellett looks to put the kick up, trying to put some pressure on Halliday. Halliday rises and takes it there, but then Kellett's going to try and go for the one-on-one strip, is he? Either way, it's not a one-on-one strip, but they're keeping the winger back quite close to his own line and have got some work to do here of the home side.
Yeah, great kick from Jack, and also even better chase, really. We can't really tell how far away Tom Halliday was from his own in goal, but he was sending him back there. But yeah, after 3 tackles, they can't be even over the 10 metre line.
They aren't over their own, certainly not over their own 20, Dan Fowler. I'll certainly give you that. And it is Jack Arnold back out there now trying to take his side forward, maybe around 21, 22 metres away from their own line here. And now is it Will Judd that's back out there that's been wrapped up at dummy half? No, it was the fullback Flynn Holden. And they've got done well there of Whitehaven, and that kick out of bounds, and it's gone to the Whitehaven 20, and it's now being brought forward by Cole Walker-Taylor. I think the wind's definitely behind the Vikings in this second half. That kick went for miles. Arm round the neck from Bullock of Cole Walker-Taylor. Walker in there at dummy half now. Into the hands then of Eccleston. Eccleston with some footwork trying to fool the Goole defence. Wasn't fooling anyone there in the red and black, and it's now Ethan Bickerdike will take Whitehaven over their own 40, so maybe 6 or 7 metres short of halfway. Goes left into the hands of Walker. Now finds Ben Pearce, and Pearce is trying to break down that left hand side. Still a couple of tackles left in the bank here for Whitehaven. They're 40 metres away from the Vikings line. Comes right now into the hands of Kieran Walker.
6 more. Surely.
6 more, yeah. It is a fresh set of 6 here for Whitehaven. Pops it up to Connor Holliday, and it's just sort of slowed down just a little bit. But Tomlinson brings Connor Holliday down. Kellett in there at dummy half. Will go left into the hands then of Ellis Nixon. Just slowed down just a little bit, but he comes left now into the hands of Lewis Brown. Whitehaven trying to stay on and get back on the front foot here. Holgate looking to go down that left hand side and finds then Kieran Walker. Now out the back then to Cole Walker-Taylor.
Yes,
Walker-Taylor steps back inside, trying to get his arm free for an offload. There was the Whitehaven fullback, definitely within 10 metres now. Whitehaven. Holgate comes right then into the hands of Ellis Nixon. Nixon just to the left hand side of the post. Still a couple of tackles left in the bank. No, it's the 5 and last now. Comes right into the hands of Kellett. Kellett's going to look to go himself. Jack Kellett is just going to be brought down. I don't think he heard the 5 and last call. And it's going to be a handover ball only a couple of metres away from the Vikings line. And the Vikings survived, Dan Fowler.
Yeah, some good carries there from Whitehaven to get themselves in that position. But yeah, I'd like you say, the dummy on the last tackle probably wasn't the play there, especially with 2 or 3 goal defenders around.
Trying to fetch it forward from their own line here. The home side, around about 20 metres away. As they're taken down now, it's going to be a penalty. Whitehaven their own worst enemy there.
They were only a matter of time after the first tackle, to be fair. It seemed like it were pretty slow, and he's probably tested the patience of the referee a bit too much there, Whitehaven. And you got a good touch finder here in Miller as well. He gets him close to halfway. Well, probably on halfway.
No, just short off halfway. Tomlinson is the man to fetch it forward. He will take them over halfway. We're around about 23 minutes to go here at the Victoria Pleasure Ground. It's 22-12, still in favour of the home side, as Jack Arnold is the man to fetch it forward here. Jubb dives out of dummy half. Fresh back onto the field is Will Jubb. 28 metres out. Harmon will go in at dummy half now. Back into the middle then with Nick Staveley, the former Hull FC man. Brought down 17 metres out. Jubbs in there at dummy half. Comes left into the hands of Miller. Then finds Arnold. Arnold couldn't keep hold. That's a knock on. Miller will collect. He just couldn't keep hold, cut the prop forward, and it's a shame for him because he's got through a lot of work this afternoon.
Absolutely,
as Jack Arnold, and if he kept hold of the ball there, he would have been over the line.
Yeah, definitely so. Yeah, it's if he takes it in, he's got a free run to the line pretty much. But yeah, just couldn't quite keep hold. Whitehaven stay alive because I think you think if the next try goes Goole's way, it's a
long way back.
Absolutely,
it really
yeah,
is a long way back.
We'll never say game over.
Whitehaven look to fetch the ball forward here. Might have lost us once again temporarily. And there's going to be a Whitehaven man who's down there. There's going to be a stoppage here. Is it the Whitehaven man on that far side, Steph Woodend? And Ellis Nixon's just been withdrawn from the field, and Jake Pearce is back out there.
No Brad?
No, not yet, unless that is, somewhat of an injury for Brad Brennan. I'm not too sure.
Are we on the technical difficulties?
Could just be my iPad. Be alright. Missing nothing here at Victoria Pleasure Ground. It is now Ethan Biggerdike. He's going to be taken down, sort of 18 metres out. Into the hands now then of Lewis Brown. Brown's being pushed back 5, 6, 7 metres there. Needs to play it there, and he does. Holgate in there at dummy half before finding Jake Pearce. And Pearce, comes off the shoulder of Cole Walker-Taylor. I understand Whitehaven's need to get the ball forward. That maybe wasn't the way to go about it, but they've certainly got away with it there as Jake Pearce. That's the way to go about it from Jake Pearce. Puts the kick in, does Ellison Holgate. It's going to be collected on the full by Flynn Holden, and Holden's now going to look to fetch it forward. It's going to be taken down. Todd in there, as is Connor Holliday. Into the hands then of Halliday, who was in at the dummy half position. Yeah, still a bit of a strange one that we haven't seen Brad Brennan out there. I hope he hasn't picked up an injury that we might have missed, Dan Fowler. Whitehaven really can't go around with losing too many bodies. They've already lost Jack Newbegging out there this afternoon. Is it Cooper Howlett on that far side is looking to fetch the ball forward? It is the tall Australian that will play it exactly on halfway, only a couple of metres in from the far right hand side touch line. Staveley's trying to spin out the tackle, but he's taken down. Jake Pearce, then Connor Holliday helps him complete it, but it's a 6 again. Holliday judged to have stayed on too long following getting involved in that tackle, so this will be first tackle. Jubb is taken down 39 metres out. Fetching it forward now are the Vikings through Jack Arnold. Jubb. Fantastic work from Connor Holliday, who's looking to go for the one-on-one strip but has taken the hooker down instead. Tomlinson dives in at dummy half, goes right and finds Jack Arnold again once more. He's lost that there as Jack Arnold going for the offload, and it's dived on by Ollie Pollock. Whitehaven have ball again 25 metres away from their own line. It's into the hands then of Jack Kellett, who'll get it across to Mitchell Todd. And Todd's going to be brought down 30 metres out. Kellett in there at dummy half. Into the hands then of Pearce, who'll find then Ollie Pollock. And Pollock. It's going to be a penalty, exactly what Whitehaven needed.
Good work. Just didn't win the ruck, but yeah, the goal man's got his hands around the ball, and it's just a bit too much, for the referee to take, and he gives the penalty up to halfway. Big chance. Are you all right, Ledger?
I am, yeah. Just trying to keep myself untangled, cables and more, and
it was an interesting show, that one.
Mitchell Todd is the man to take the tap and take Whitehaven forward. Kellett will be the man to dive in at dummy half. We'll go left then into the hands of Jake Pearce, and Pearce is going to take Whitehaven over the Vikings 40, maybe 2 metres over that, just to the right of centre. Comes in right now into the hands then of Jack Kellett, and Kellett's trying to find Mitchell Todd.
Wow.
Wrapped up is Todd. Holgate in there at dummy half. Keller comes across then to Jake Pearson. Tries to take on Will Judd, but Staveley gets involved as well. Around 25-ish metres out here. Holgate goes left into the hands of Walker. Walker then looking to go out the back, and Cole Walker-Taylor does very well to grab it one-handed. Just had to slow himself down there, did the Whitehaven full-back. Bickerdike will be in at dummy half now, and what is the 5 and last comes right to Walker. Walker's looking to get the kick in behind and get through. Throws himself to the ground again once more, trying to get a penalty there. There's Kieran Walker. Referee Kevin Moore wasn't having any of it, and it's eventually Kieran Walker that dives on the running. Flynn Holden. Halliday now dives out of dummy half, and Whitehaven just not able to slow the Goole side down.
No,
there,
definitely not. Yeah, Holden and Halliday with consecutive carries, and they've got from their own try line to about the 30-metre mark, so they've made some big progress in such short space of time as well. So yeah, it's just a case of trying to slow them down as quick as possible, but it's not happening.
Callum Short brought down just short of halfway. Jubb in there at dummy half, and it'll be Staveley again once more. Wrapped up 40 metres away from the Whitehaven line, and what is the 5 and last. Jubb will go right and find Harmon. Harmon puts the kick up. Cole Walker-Taylor's looking to get underneath it. That's to turn his back on that, did Cole Walker-Taylor, and then he's nearly done really well there to get through the line. He done well to stay in the field of play. More than anything did Cole Walker-Taylor. It's now Seth Woodend looking to go down that left-hand side, sort of 15, 16 metres away from his own line here, as Walker will be the man to dive in at dummy half, and it'll be Ethan Bickerdike to try and take Whitehaven forward here. 20 metres out of Whitehaven from their own line, into the hands now of Jake Pearce. Good 10 metres there from Jake Pearce, just helping Whitehaven clear their own lines, just to the left of centre. Holgate looking to go from dummy half himself before finding then Ben Pearson. He does well there, Ben Pearce, to make another 10 metres of his own, picked up and dumped by Will Jubb and Jalen Hodgson, and what is now the 5 and last will go left. Walker's looking to put the kick in. It's going to be collected on the full there by Holden. And Holden, the fullback, fetches the ball forward, and maybe not as deep as Whitehaven will have wanted there, because the Vikings are starting this less than 10 metres short of halfway.
It seems like Goole
down.
are getting on top as well. Yeah, they're defending there. They didn't really get too many metres with the forward pack, but yeah, so it's time for Whitehaven's defence to try and front up here, try and force an error, and give their attack a bit of an opportunity with a more advantageous field position, let's say.
Jubb finds then, is it Arnold who's fetching it forward here? He gets the off all the way back into the hands of Jubb. Connor Holliday's in there trying to go for the one-on-one strip once again. That's been a battle between them two in the last sort of 5 minutes or so. Here is Brad Bedden getting ready to be reintroduced alongside Jackson Smith, and Davies looking to get through a gap on this Whitehaven's right-hand side edge. And that is the 5 and last, the 32 metres out. Tomlinson's in there at dummy half. A little bit high for Miller, but able to grab it out of the air. Kick goes end over end. Oh, it's knocked on by the goal man, which should have been Ewan Smith, is it? Yeah. And Arnold throws the ball away. Ethan Bickerdike saying he's threw the ball away, so it should be a penalty and a sin binning. And it's Brad Brennan and Jackson Smith to replace Ollie Pollock and Lewis Brown, and that is Whitehaven's final interchanges of the afternoon.
Say about 15 minutes left, maybe something like that. We don't know for sure,
roughly,
but yeah, it seems like obviously introducing Brad quite late on in this half as well, so he's probably going to play until the end, hopefully all being well.
Oh, he's going to have to now, because
yes,
Whitehaven's got no interchanges left.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Brennan needs the man to fetch the ball forward. He's going to play it sort of 23, 24 metres away from his own line. Holgate will go left and finds then Ben Pearce. Pearce finds 10 metres before being taken down. Whitehaven trying to get on the front foot with some fast play of the balls here. Jackson Smith is now going to take it forward, and now he's going to be taken down. Only 3 or 4 metres short of halfway. Comes right into the hands of Kellett. Kellett with a double pump, and then escapes the tackle, and he's through his Jack Kellett. He's going to be one-on-one with the fullback Flynn Holden, but there's plenty there in red and black. Come back to help. It is now going to be the 5 and last. 25-ish metres out here, 6 again in favour of Whitehaven. Holgate goes himself from dummy half. This is when Whitehaven do need to try and get back. It's Jake Pearce that's going to have to go in at dummy half. It's another 6 again. It's into the hands now of Jackson Smith, and Smith's going to be brought down in mere metres away from the line in the shadows of the sticks. Holgate will go left. There's numbers on that left-hand side. Caden Walker comes back in himself and trying to get over the line on that left-hand side is Caden Walker. Has he got over on that left-hand side? He has as Kieran Walker. He's reduced the deficit. That's now 22-16 in favour of Goole, and Walker will have an opportunity to take it back to another 4-point ball game. Dan Fowler, do Whitehaven live in this one?
Yeah, absolutely so. I mean, we were talking about Goole kind of having the upper hand with the forwards and making more meters, and then you bring Jackson Smith and you bring Brad Brennan on, and they've both had an impact in that. But obviously the plaudits have to go to Jack Kellett with the big break, and then a 6 again on the last tackle as well that gave Whitehaven that opportunity, and they've taken the chances.
I was bemoaning the 6 again earlier on.
Yeah,
Keep the 6
it.
again. Loving the 6 again now. Keep it. It will be Kieran Walker looking to tag on the extras and take us back to just a 4-point ball game. And he does so, does Kieran Walker. So here on the east side of Yorkshire, it's Goole Vikings 22, Whitehaven 18. BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. We think roughly 12-13 minutes to go maybe here at the Victoria Pleasure Ground. We'll try and keep an eye on that one across social media. They're getting a right talking to. Rallying calls round behind the Trubs are the Vikings. And that is a clock stopped by referee Kevin Mewett. What do Whitehaven need to do in these final 15 minutes, Dan?
I think you've got to keep going through the forwards and just making sure that they're struggling to contain Kellett, but also we saw in the first 10-15 minutes the impact of Brad Brennan and also Jackson as well, Jackson Smith. They've both been really good in this game. So if you're going through those three key guys, and then if you're winning the ruck, it gives you a big chance to be expansive.
Goole had to try at the 68th minute, so around about 11 minutes to go as Brad Brennan's the man to fetch it forward from the kickoff. Goes left then into the hands then of Ben Pearce, trying to get back on the front foot here. Whitehaven
30 metres forward after 2 tackles.
6 again on a penalty here. No, referee Kevin Moore tells him to get up and get on with it. Jackson Smith fetches it forward. He keeps his legs pumping, does the former Hensingen man. Trying to get up and play the ball. He does
6
now.
more.
6 again in favour of Whitehaven. Ben Pearce tries to spin out of the tackle. Holgate will go right into the hands then of Jackson Smith. Yeah. Great work from the youngster, fresh back from the bench. Holgate, dummy half, comes right into the hands then of Kellett. Comes out the back to Cole Walker-Taylor. He's just had to slow himself down there. There's Cole Walker-Taylor. Connor Holliday been mourning the fact he didn't get the floor because he broke through the line there, did Holliday. Kellett, Smith now again once more. Around 20 metres out here, maybe a little bit further, closer to the sticks. Holgate scoots from dummy half, goes left into the hands of Kieran Walker. Walker with the kick in behind. Even Biggerdike goes over in that left hand side, scores a level here in East Yorkshire. BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. It's Goole Vikings 22, it's Whitehaven 22, and the leading try scorer so far for Whitehaven this season, Ethan Biggerdike, adds another to his collection, and Kieran Walker will have an opportunity to give Whitehaven the lead for the first time here this afternoon. Dan Fowler.
Some turnaround. We saw that Goole went back to back earlier on, just before half time, and Whitehaven have done just the same here, and it's so good from Jackson Smith again. He's just must have taken 3 or 4 carries. He got the 6 again on halfway. It gives Whitehaven the chance to be more expansive, and then Kieran Walker with a little grubber in for Ethan to get on the end of, and it scores level. Wow.
I feel like there's people staring at me.
It's fine. No, it's okay.
Am I going to get out of here alive?
Maybe.
Can I get a little bit Jew?
Well, I'm guilty by association.
Well,
so
yeah. Kieran Walker will look to tag on the extras and give Whitehaven the lead in what has been a topsy-turvy encounter here in East Yorkshire. BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. Kieran Walker. Does he tag on the extras? He does Kieran Walker. Whitehaven lead for the first time here this afternoon in the Victoria Pleasure Ground. I said earlier on, they hadn't got a lot of pleasure here this afternoon. They do now to Whitehaven. They hit the front, and now we think with about 9 minutes to go, 8-9 minutes to go, Dan Fowler, they've just got to keep ball in hand now.
How much more urgency was shown by Goole to get to the kick-off there compared to 2 minutes ago?
Jack Kellett collects from the kick-off, and he'll find Jackson Smith to look to fetch that ball forward.
He's been brilliant.
And it's now Mitchell Todd who'll look to try and take Whitehaven forward here. brought down 28 metres or so away from his own line. Holgate will go left into the hands of Brad Brennan. Has it been a master stroke from James Newton, keeping them two back to later on in the contest as Holgate gets on the front foot and escapes from dummy half. Escaped 2, 3, make that nearly a fourth there from Ellison Holgate. Brought down. Walker Taylor in at dummy half. It will go left to Kieran Walker. Walker then looks to fetch it back towards the middle. 5 and last. Whitehaven around 20 metres out from the goal line. Holgate will dive in at dummy half. Goes left. Walker Taylor looks to put the kick in towards the corner. It'll be Cooper Howler to collect it. Can they get him back over the goal try line? They can. They force the goal line drop out from the Vikings, and Whitehaven remain on the front foot here. Just needs to be simple rugby now, Dan Fowler.
Yeah, definitely so. Yeah, you play the percentages, that game management that we always talk about, and that's exactly what they provided there. It's a great kick from Walker Taylor, and the chase is just as good as well, managing to pin Goole back in their own in-goal area. With the clock ticking down, minutes are vital here, and the more time that Whitehaven get with the ball, less time Goole have to strike.
We've got a stoppage. There's a Whitehaven man needing some treatment. Was it Ellison Holgate that was down? No, it's Nick Staveley. Well, he's going to be a huge loss.
Well, I think
for the remainder of the game. He's been a real go-getter for the Vikings since he's come onto the field from the bench this afternoon as the former Hull FC man. He's limping away there. Is Staveley.
I think they've called for an HIA.
They have sort of been Bullock to come back onto the field. That interaction with Kieran Walker, let's call it, earlier on. Surely attempt to go short on the do, and Maddie's out.
Yeah, not gone
on
10.
The full. I don't know. I couldn't quite tell from where we are. I don't think I think he bounced back behind the try line. I mean, just from where we are, I might be absolutely wrong. There's no point in Whitehaven going for 2. It just makes it still that they only need a try to the Vikings. So it will be Whitehaven ball, and it'll be Jake Pearce that makes the slowest jog / run in the world. But Whitehaven start this 10 metres out. Comes right into the hands of Jackson Smith. Smith's going to be taken down. Holgate, dummy half. Comes right into the hands of Connor Holliday. He's going to try and spin his way out of the tackle. He's the Whitehaven captain, but he's hauled down. Inches short of the line. Holgate in a dummy half. Pops it up to Brad Brennan. He's over his Brad Brennan. Surely game, set and match here for Whitehaven over here in East Yorkshire. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online, and it's a move they've tried for weeks and weeks and weeks, and a move that was so successful for Whitehaven last season. That little pop-up to Brad Brennan so close to the line, it's been successful this afternoon. It is now Goole Vikings 22, it's Whitehaven 28, and if Kieran Walker can add the extras, Dan Fowler, it will then be a two-score game.
Yeah, easy for you to say.
It wasn't.
But yeah, you won't find many stopping Brad from that distance. And yeah, you were saying about whether it being a masterstroke from James Newton to withhold Brad and Jackson coming back onto the pitch for the final quarter. And since coming on, they've been the better team by a country mile, really. And with a potential 2-score lead, hopefully they can just play the percentages, like we say, just fine touch and get get home with the 2 points.
Might go home. I might not get out of here alive yet. Kieran Walker. Some tags on the extras. Just Kieran Walker. It is Goole Vikings 22, Whitehaven 30. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online. Make it in the final 5 minutes here in East Yorkshire. Can Whitehaven keep hold? Can they get their first away victory versus Goole? And what a turnaround that will be from last season.
Absolutely. We know where this is going. Come on, Mitchell.
Caught him in the air. Surely. No, referee Kevin Moore says that's okay. Whitehaven just need to play simple rugby here. Jake Pearce then now looks to take Whitehaven forward. He'll be brought down. He's done well to stay up and brought down 30 metres away from his own line. Kellett in at dummy half, then finds Dave Eccleston. The light's fading here at Goole. But Whitehaven just need to hold on. Jackson Smith, and that's surely high on Jackson Smith.
Yes.
And that's the penalty the Whitehaven need.
How good has he been since going on? Him and Brad have been absolutely terrific in the middle, and they've just not been able to stop him. But it seems also that the Goole have not been meeting him head on as well. They've just been giving him that 10 metres to just have a run, and you're not going to stop him. Not going to stop him directly.
Whitehaven elect to take the tap. They don't want to give any opportunity to try and give Goole this ball. Smith's taken down on the first tackle on halfway. Holgate looks to go himself, will go himself, and is nearly through the line there, is Ellison Holgate. Then looks to play. Ben Pearce, yeah, it was the right, but he thought about letting the ball go, and he thought, no, what am I doing? Again goes left into the hands of Ethan Bickerdike. We're into the final few minutes here in East Yorkshire. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online will go right then into the hands of Brad Brennan. Brennan taken down 20 metres out. Holgate goes right into the hands then now of Jack Keller. Keller puts the kick in behind. Can Whitehaven get there? Halliday's going to have to knock it dead, is he?
Goal line dropout.
It is a goal line dropout. Fantastic chasing there from Dave Eccleston and Cole Walker-Taylor. And they forced the goal line dropout. Ball boys kick the ball onto the field. There's 2 balls. He's had to go short. Ellison Holgate collected it anyways, but it doesn't matter. There was 2 balls on the field, so they will get the ball back. Can't be long left in this contest. They're going to look to go short again.
No.
It's collected by Connor Holliday. He lost it. He's lost it there.
So they have got the ball back.
Connor Holliday. They will have the ball back. About 2 minutes left, if that, here in East Yorkshire. Is it scrum down, head and feed to the Vikings? Yes, it is. And we've got another stoppage. How's your nerves, Whitehaven fans? Searching for your first away victory of the season at James Newton's side. They're looking to go for it here. Are the Vikings? It's the fullback Holden that'll look to step up, but the Whitehaven defence are able to bring it down. Ben Pearce involved in that tackle. It's a penalty. Oh. They're giving the opportunity for Vikings to get down the field here. Surely too little too late, but we're not too sure here in East Yorkshire. Ball finds touch. They'll start this 12 metres short of halfway will the Vikings. Callum Shaw goes and grabs the ball, puts it inside. Howlett takes the tap. Jubb comes across now to Harmon. Out the back then to Miller. They're going for it here are the Vikings. Halliday on this side. Eccleston, he's bounced off the tackle, but then Brennan is involved. Jackson Smith's involved. Of course their pair are involved. They've been immense since they've come back onto the field. Jubb will go right. Finds Harmon. Harmon's running across the line. Finds then Ewan Smith. Smith's going to be pushed back a metre or 2 there. Bickerdike and Walker involved in that tackle. Comes into the hands now of Hallstock. Hallstock's looking to throw the ball over the top and find Caelan Tomlinson. Tomlinson will trying to get past Connor Holliday, but Holliday will just grab, throws it off, it's into the hands of Jackson Smith. That should be game, set and match for Whitehaven. Smith's going to be taken down 10 short of halfway. He then rips the ball out, does he know? Kellett's in there at dummy half. Into the hands now of Dave Eccleston. Eccleston pushes one man off, and then a second. That's surely high on Dave Eccleston. It is into penalty for Whitehaven. Should be all she wrote here at the Victoria Pleasure Ground. And we can hear the Whitehaven contingent that might be small in numbers this afternoon. Dan Fowler to that right hand side, but they've made plenty of noise for James Newton's side.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to be a nice drive home for them, especially with being a later kick-off as well than expected.
I was going to say, it's 6 o'clock here in East Yorkshire. What are we still doing here? Ellison Holgate's going to be the man that's taken down, just waiting for that hooter to sound. Walker comes into the hands now of Ben Pearce. And Pearce is going to finds his front, plays the ball. Walker-Taylor goes left into the hands of Walker, just pops it up there for Ethan Bickerdike, around 30 metres away from the Vikings line here at Whitehaven. Holgate in there at dummy half, and they're just going through the motions. It's all they need to do. Brad Brennan is going to be the man to take it forward. Around 20 metres out now, middle of the field. It is going to be the 5 and last. Comes right to Kelly. Surely just bang it over the try line. No, it's into the hands of Connor Holliday, and Holliday's nearly through, and he's going to be taken down. Play on. In this right hand side corner. Dave Eccleston puts the ball down. That is game, set and match. Whitehaven will get the 2 points. They'll get their first away victory of the season here. And he's got the ball down. Well, this man in front of me doesn't think he's got it down. I couldn't tell you absolutely anything. All I know is that Whitehaven is celebrating, and they will take the 2 points back to Cumbria. Dan Fowler.
Wow, it did look like, in fairness, it did look like the tackle was completed to the ref, but you play till the whistle and there goes the hooter. It's happy days for Whitehaven.
The hooter sounds to our right hand side. I couldn't tell you the last time Whitehaven won away Dan Fowler. I couldn't tell you. But they get that victory here this afternoon in East Yorkshire after all the sort of holds up, and we were 80 minutes delayed in getting underway. 20 past 4 we kicked off here in East Yorkshire. It's just gone 6 o'clock. and Whitehaven pick up the 2 points. Dan Fowler, what an immense final quarter.
And the
he's
conversion's
tagged
good
the extra as well as
Happy
Kieran
days.
Walker. For what it matters, he's tagged on the extras. 6 from 6 is Kieran Walker this afternoon. It's finished Goole Vikings 22, Whitehaven 36, an immense final quarter from Whitehaven.
Yeah, the last 20 minutes, Whitehaven just couldn't be stopped. So like we've just been saying, it was single plaudits of Brad Brennan and Jackson Smith. But when they came on, it just seemed like it revitalised Haven. And you said probably taking into account just how Goole were on the front foot for most of the second half. Before the final quarter, and then after that they've just taken over, and they've just been immense, absolutely immense. It's been a great final 20 minutes to turn this game around, and almost comfortable winners in the end.
What was it?
Doesn't seem like it.
16. What was the break? 16-6 was it?
Yes, that's
Whitehaven
right.
scored 30 points in the second half. That try coming from Ollie Pollock really early on, diving over underneath the sticks, but then Nick Staveley hitting back for the Vikings, and then it's tries in the 68th, the 71st, the 76th, and the 80th minute from Whitehaven. Never mind the final quarter. Dan Fowler, it's been the final 12 minutes of that contest.
Without a doubt, and they give themselves a chance to get themselves on the front foot via defending in the second half. They didn't collapse, and that's what's won them the contest in the end, because in the last 15 minutes it was one-way traffic, and they've shown that clinical edge as well to get over the line on multiple occasions. That was the change as well. Josh Guzdek, he's not.
He was
in the lineup for Goole, and I think he did play. But yeah, there seems to be some celebration in the far corner there as well, which we can't see.
I'm almost jealous I'm not involved, Dan Fowler. But what an afternoon of rugby league it's been here in East Yorkshire. Whitehaven hit back. It's 4 tries in the final 12 minutes. They were 22-12 down with 15 minutes to go. Whitehaven hit back with 4 tries, all of them converted by Kieran Walker. What an afternoon it's been from Whitehaven. Once we eventually got underway, thank you very much for your company. We're having to shoot off because we're going back with Whitehaven, and we're about an hour delayed as it is, so we're going to shoot off on air here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports. We will catch up with James Newton. Make sure to catch in to the BBC Radio Cumbria weekend review between 6 and 7 to hear from the Whitehaven head coach tomorrow across all frequencies on BBC Radio Cumbria. But from here in East Yorkshire, the Victoria Pleasure Grounds, Whitehaven certainly get a lot of pleasure from their first ever visit to Goole. Full time, Goole Vikings 22, Whitehaven 36. Enjoy the rest of your evening.